Oh, hello everyone, and welcome back to another skin review. Today, I'm by myself. I kind of want to start off this skin review by saying something very important, and that is things with the skin review podcast are a lot harder than they used to be. I was much more used to the classic skin review where I would get a couple of creators from the Fortnite community and I would band together with them to work on, kind of creating this back and forth conversation on why I think something is good, why the others think something is good, and kind of picking apart each other's thoughts and kind of understanding where we're all coming from with this kind of thing. And I still intend on getting this out and continuing that kind of thing, but unfortunately, with just how things played out and the timing of everything within these last two chapter seasons, so to speak, things kind of fell apart. I was supposed to have two returning guests for this particular skin review, and things did not work out because I was not able to figure out my schedule in a way that it would allow them to hop on as well. So shout out to iRush Always. He was on my previous one for Wrecked, and FN Assist, Brad. I was also going to try to fit him in for this as well. And unfortunately, that didn't work out. But that's not anybody else's fault other than my own. I didn't kind of plan ahead in the way that I should have. So that's on me. But when you're working a full-time job, it's kind of, and it's only full-time when things, I don't know. I'm kind of like giving you guys an update as well as doing the normal skin review here because it's, it's tough. The job that I have is unknown hours. I can't plan ahead for this kind of stuff because I don't know when they're going to need me. So it all just kind of falls down to whether I can plan ahead properly and schedule things properly. And that's where I've always been not really lacking, is the fact that I can schedule stuff months ahead and still be fine. So when it comes to the stuff that I have to schedule and I have to be available for on a specific day, it's much harder. It really is much, much harder. But nonetheless, now that I've got that all done and said, I want to get into the next part of the Skin Review podcast. So, basically, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be talking about all of the skins that came out within Absolute Doom and Fortnite REMIX. So, as you can see, this whole thing right here is every single skin. So, I'm going to go in order of how we got him here. We'll start off with Billy. Billy the Puppet from Saw. I have to say, when I first saw this one, I was like, okay, well, how are we going to fit this in? How is this going to become a Fortnite skin? Because this thing is like tiny, isn't it? I knew that they were going to be able to do the tricycle because, that's like the iconic thing for Billy the Puppet. They wouldn't not do that. But I almost saw Billy as being more of a back bling kind of, not really a pet, but like more of a companion, kind of like the gingerbread guy. That's how I kind of saw it being a possibility. But the fact that they made Billy an actual skin, that caught me by surprise. I was not expecting it, but I'm very much okay with it. So, in my honest opinion, because of how well they did this character and how well it fit in with the Fortnite season, I'm going to put this one at an A because I think it was very well done. Up next, we have Felina. This was a level, or not really a level 50, but a 50 level bonus outfit that we could basically get for free just by getting 50 levels in Fortnite. I think it was 50. It was either 25 or 50. I can't even remember. I think it was 25 for the pickaxe and then 50 for the skin. But nonetheless, having this as a free skin is actually kind of cool because, just look at the design of this thing. It's a cyborg cat kind of thing. I don't really know how else to explain it. I like the design of the arms. I like the cybernetic look to it. I like the fact that the face is fully robotic. There's not really many details towards like the eyes or anything. It's just kind of like this blind robot looking thing with a consciousness. I kind of like that. And I think that this being a free skin was a really, really cool addition to Fortnite. And not only that, the fact that it's ranked bonus stuff is included. So like whatever your rank is in Fortnite ranked, the color scheme changes to that. So you can have like an Unreal colored Felina, and that to me was just awesome. Again, I think this one is worthy of putting at an A, and that's mainly because it didn't cost anything other than time. Up next, we got Archon. Archon just recently came out with the Chapter 2 Remix season. Archon is kind of like a Renegade Shadow mixed with Raptor type thing, I think. Is it Raptor, or is it another one? I can't remember. But I know that this is supposed to be similar to Renegade Shadow. Honestly, I think this one's really cool, and I am listening to some sort of advertisement. That's not supposed to happen. Whoops. I guess my recorded music here didn't work properly. Well, I guess I'll have to keep track of that. So basically, Archon is, in my eyes, one of those random skins where it's like, okay, it's a nice mixture of two skins, but I don't think that this one is done in a way that appeals to me in particular. Personally, I think Archon is more of like a, if you don't have any other skins and you really want to find something to get, maybe this will be the one you get as like a first time skin. But if you have a lot of other skins that you'll use, I don't see this one being one that a lot of others would choose immediately as their, like, you know, top choice. Like, oh, I want to use Archon instead of Scrapper Kyle or Renzo the Destroyer or something like that. I don't know. This one to me, it doesn't really feel as worth it. I think for me, this one kind of fits in the C category. Sorry, anybody who likes Archon. Like I said, I don't hate it. I think it's a cool design, but for me, it's not as appealing. Speaking of not appealing, Gummy Team Leader. It's literally just a team leader with like minimal textures and slightly a lower price. I mean, it's cool because you can get an iconic character for a really low price, considering the original Cuddle Team Leader is insanely pricey. But I still don't really care for it that much. Honestly, I'm having a tough time trying to decide whether it's a D or a C. I think I'll put it as a C because, like I said, it's an iconic character you can get for pretty cheap, but it just doesn't feel worth it to me. Up next, we got Rubius. This was a Spanish content creator that came into the Icon series for Absolute Doom. And honestly, his edit styles are insanely cool. And I think this is one of my favorite Icon skins that they've put in the game for content creators. This and Cypher PK are probably my all-time favorites. So, yeah, just amazing. And I think that Rubius and his skin is definitely worthy of an S tier. We have, up next is Nyx Scarlet. Again, this one doesn't really appeal to me as much. I know that there are a lot of other people that probably will say that this one is a cool one. But for me, I don't resonate with this kind of style of character. And I feel like something like this is a little bit overdone. I would probably put this one at a C as well. Meowtooth. Just absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious, the fact that they brought in a Sabertooth variant of Meowscles. And the fact that they did it like this and gave him like a wool, or not wool, what am I saying? They gave him like a tiger pelt. That on top of the comic look, yeah, this is an A for me. It's too good. They executed this idea too good. Iron Man Mark 45. We have Iron Man back again. You can purchase him this time. He's not tied to a battle pass, so he has the ability to come back into the item shop. The only difference is this time it's the Robert Downey version of Tony Stark from Age of Ultron, which is interesting. I wish that there was a edit style where you could take off the helmet, but I see why you couldn't do that. Couldn't really get Robert Downey's likeness. You know, that's a whole thing they'll have to go through. But I have to say, in terms of Iron Man, it's cool we have an Iron Man that's not tied to a battle pass, but it's not amazing because it doesn't have all that extra stuff with it. Up next we have Lexa Harbinger. Or no, not Harbinger. Hexbringer. Got that wrong. Lexa Hexbringer. Honestly, I like the fact that Lexa is getting multiple different versions of herself that aren't anime style. Princess Lexa was a pretty interesting style, and I was like, yeah, it's an iconic character. Lexa is an iconic character, whether you think so or not. It really is. And the fact that they've been doing this character in a way that makes her seem more humanistic, is that the word I want? Humanistic? It gives her more of a personality than just serial killer anime cyborg. And I kind of like that she has a little bit more aesthetic to her. So Lexa Hexbringer for me is definitely up there. I'd put Lexa Hexbringer at an A personally. This one is one I would actually use. Up next we have Kyron Eric. Fortnite crew pack didn't really seem worth it. I mean, this definitely could have been like an 800 V-Bucks skin in the shop, and they could have done so much more with it. I mean, it's a unique face, but given that it's a Fortnite crew pack, it just doesn't really, you know, I don't really care for it. And not having multiple color options too, that just, I don't know. I don't really like it. Up next is Ghost Rider. I'm gonna just say this right now. I know a lot of you are going to be very confused, but this is hilarious. As a Marvel comic fan myself, seeing a Ghost Rider character themed around a flame-broiled burger is just, it's great. There's only one thing that I wish they didn't do. I wish they didn't have Mephisto's spatula or whatever it is as the pickaxe for this character. I wish that they gave him the ghost fire chains in the form of his ketchup and mustard like they did with the loading screen that came with him. Imagine having that be the pickaxe. That would have been so cool. And they didn't do it. And that's my only gripe with the skin. Besides that, I think it was great. Why stop ads? I don't want ads. God, I hate that. So Ghost Rider, definitely an amazing idea. I love that they did that. Up next, I'm going to kind of talk about these guys in kind of a group, so to speak. Because these guys all really give me the same vibe. I don't really care for them. They're just like classic bird skins that have different designs. Like Corvus is supposed to be obviously like a raven, literally a raven. Captain Talon is an eagle or hawk. I don't even remember anymore. Polly Featherface is a parrot. Like, I don't know. The idea is interesting, but I feel like, again, these particular characters, if they had done just the one group of them, I think it would have been fine. But the fact that they kept making more of them, that's what kind of set me more towards the idea of like, okay, maybe this is a little too much. So that's kind of where I fall with those guys. Cool ideas, too many iterations. Briar of the Thorn, I actually really like this design. This kind of gives me a Alice in Wonderland kind of vibe. It makes me think of the Queen of Hearts in some cases, but if you took the Queen of Hearts and gave her roses instead, kind of like Queen of Roses, and thorn bushes and stuff. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this, but it gives me that vibe of Alice in Wonderland. And I kind of like that. I kind of like this rogue, mystical type, medieval, not medieval, enchanted kind of feel to it. And I think this one is definitely, for me, worthy of a B. I don't think I could put it higher, but I definitely think this is a cool idea. And it was executed well. I will admit that. Black Cat. This is by far one of the best original adaptations of a Marvel comic character. Black Cat is supposed to look like this in the comics. And the fact that Fortnite kind of took that design and brought a new feel to it, this feels more like Black Cat than the comics for actual Marvel comics feel. Like, how did Fortnite make a better version of a comic character in Marvel? That honestly kind of makes me a little bit interested to see what else they could do with a lot more stuff in the future. We already have so many Marvel characters, and there are a couple more on this list that I'm going to be talking about today that I think they did really well, and I have absolutely nothing bad to say. So Black Cat, S tier, 100%. They did it so well. Andromeda. We have way too many Galaxy skins. Way too many. This one at least was given out for free for Samsung Galaxy. But for people like me who, we don't really have access to that kind of stuff, it's just one of those like exclusive feeling things that we just didn't get. I don't know if it was sold in the shop. I honestly forgot if it was. I don't think it was, not yet. So there is a chance it could come back, but not quite yet, I guess. I don't know. I really don't know. I think this honestly is worthy of a B. And that's only because the previous few Galaxy skins have had very minimal designs to them. It's just been like the standard Galaxy copy-paste texture that they've done for a long time now. But this feels kind of... I don't know. It feels kind of different in a way. Not different in a way that I think it's insanely good, but different that it at least feels like a different kind of Galaxy skin. And that makes me think B. But, still, I think Galaxy is much more overdone at this point than it needs to be. Up next, we have Shuri. Not gonna lie, when I heard Shuri was coming to the game, I didn't think that we were gonna get a Black Panther version of Shuri. But then again, it makes sense. It makes sense why they do that because of, recent occurrences in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Not to mention, Shuri was also known for taking up the mantle as Black Panther at one point in the comics. Honestly, it just came to me as a surprise. I thought that they were going to just do kind of like a classic Shuri design from the comics instead of just, Black Panther. But, like I said, I'm not against it. I think it's cool. I honestly think it is really cool. And the fact that she also had super styles too made it even better for me. Do I think that this is one of my favorite Marvel characters? No. I don't even really think that the Black Panther skin was one of my favorites when it comes to the Marvel characters in Fortnite, but I'm still not going to put it any lower than an A. Up next, we have Pulverine. I don't know if anybody can hear it, but I am literally just like wiping my face in just... I can't believe this is even a thing. I'm not disappointed. I just find it more comical than I find it anything else. Like, imagine that. A banana with Wolverine claws made out of more banana peels. Or not peels, like just the banana itself. I can't even think. I can't think. I'm just gonna stop talking about it and just throw it where I think it deserves it. Believe it or not, I think it deserves an S because it is that funny. It is that funny that we have a Wolverine Peely. Up next we have Catalina. This was an iOS mobile exclusive thing for the EU because the US does not have access to mobile Fortnite on iPhones. So these challenges were just kind of here for a little while, and it was given out as a free skin for people who had it. For people who don't, oh well. Maybe later you'll get it. Maybe later. Not sure. Either way, Catalina doesn't really feel like too great of an outfit for me. I think, honestly, Catalina is a D in my personal opinion. And that is only because I don't see any appeal to it, even if it was free. It's just not the kind of design that I thought. Up next, Mysterio. Yeah. Mysterio is 100% an amazing character to have in Fortnite, especially since they did it with the design that they did it. Mysterio in himself is something that I've been waiting for in Fortnite for a long time, and we still don't have Dr. Octavius either. Otto Octavius, Doc Ock. I can't wait to see what that looks like. I can't wait to see if those octopus claws are actually going to be part of the pickaxe that you use for harvesting, or if it's going to be built in or anything. I would love to see that. I would absolutely love it. But since we're talking about Mysterio, this kind of falls in line with Black Cat, where I am in full agreement that this is a perfectly done skin. It is so good, and I think this is probably. I agree with Mysterio, like I did with Black Cat, that Fortnite did Mysterio better than Marvel did Mysterio. I don't know how they keep doing this to me, but they keep making me think that some of my favorite Marvel characters are even better in Fortnite now. But whatever. We'll move on. Iron Spider. I'm just going to say right now, I think it's worthy of a B. And that's not because of this design that you see on screen here. That is because the face model, when you take off the mask, is just not Peter Parker. It does not look like Peter Parker at all. I don't know. There's something uncanny about it. It kind of goes into Uncanny Valley there. So for me, don't really care for it that much. Up next, we have Heroic Hope, another version of the main character in Chapter 5. Chapter 5 had two main characters, but only one was actually the prophesized victor of the entirety of everything in Chapter 5, and that was Hope. And of course, they gave her a second skin that kind of showed her evolving from her underground look to more of a fighting Marvel villains type vibe. Do I think that Hope deserves multiple different skin styles? Maybe just one. And that's only because she was originally tied to a battle pass and they don't want to do exclusivity. So obviously they want to make a different version of Hope. But do I think that they need to keep making Hope variants from here on out? Not really. And I will admit, I did see the leaks and everything that was posted for the brand new Chapter 6 Season 1 Hunters that is coming out. We have another Hope skin, and it's a samurai version. I like it. I think it's cool. Do I think we needed it? No. Do I think we needed this version, though? Yes. I do think that we do we do deserve to have at least one other version of Hope that everybody can have access to, especially if she's such a prominent character in the storyline. So I think in terms of this, I'm glad that they gave us another variant. But that's the only reason I'm putting it at A, because Hope as a character will be overdone if they continue to do it even further past this upcoming chapter season. Gwenpool. Love it. Absolutely love it. I love both versions of her, and I think that Gwenpool, if anything, was a hilarious addition, especially considering they continued to use the fourth wall break type thing that a Deadpool variant would usually do, and in this case, it's Gwendolyn Poole. It's not Gwen Stacy, it's not Wade Wilson, it's Gwendolyn Poole. So, and she knows she's in a video game. She knows it. She straight up says it all the time. And that I think that's a really cool personality to have for a game like this. So, very cool. Up next, we have the 2 FNCS skins for Absolute Doom. We have Champion Kuno and Renzo the Champion. I think Renzo the Champion is honestly really, really cool. This is probably the only FNCS skin that I actually really, really wanted to get in a long time. I think the only other time that I did that was like for the Grand Elite or whatever character it was that had like the gold mask and the purple clothing. But this is cool. Renzo the Champion definitely at an S tier because his color palette and his design is perfect. And I love how we were able to get another version of Renzo outside of the Battle Pass. Champion Kuno, on the other hand, doesn't feel too much different from the original counterpart, and for me feels kind of more like a reskin than it does anything. So that kind of puts Champion Kuno down to a C for me. Up next we have 2 versions of Shaquille O'Neal. Who in their right mind would have ever thought that Shaquille O'Neal was going to come to Fortnite? Because I can tell you right now, as a person who sees all of what Fortnite has done and expects some of the most outlandish things, never would I have imagined Shaquille O'Neal being one of the things coming to Fortnite, especially right now. How it doesn't feel real. It really doesn't. So we got the DJ Diesel version of Shaq, and we also have the Super Shaq, the superhero version. Honestly, I'm going to put both of these together in the same tier and rate them together. I think both of these guys are worthy of an A. I don't think it is absolutely amazing. I will not lie through my teeth that it is. But I also don't think it's horrible either. Having Shaquille O'Neal is an outlandish and funny thing, and Fortnite is most known for doing that kind of stuff, and that's what I think makes Fortnite what Fortnite really is. Up next, we have Juice WRLD. My friends Dylan and Colton, they have been asking, specifically Dylan, has been asking for Juice WRLD. Literally a month before Juice WRLD got revealed, Dylan asked me, he said, "Is Juice WRLD coming? I heard a rumor that Juice WRLD was coming. I don't know where from, but I heard that there was a thing that was going to happen with Juice WRLD." And I'm like, I don't know where you heard that, but as far as I know, not yet. Lo and behold, 1 month later, Juice WRLD is here. We have 2 separate skin variants for Juice WRLD. We have this one, and we also had a free version that was given to us called Slayer Juice WRLD. Slayer Juice WRLD being free for most players, honoring the guy's legacy, honoring his love for Fortnite. I think that in itself puts it at an S tier for me. The fact that they gave players and actual Juice WRLD fans the ability to get a character themed after a person who was so passionate for this game. Not to mention the fact that they couldn't scan Juice WRLD's face, because obviously Juice WRLD passed away a few years ago. But the fact that this is one of the popular characters, one of the most popular celebrities, and this is the first celebrity that they didn't scan the face for, and they still made it look so close to Juice WRLD himself. Like, this is amazing how much attention to detail was put into Juice WRLD's character. They honored his legacy so well. They gave him every single detail on his jacket, all of those like vibrant tie-dye and multicolored prismatic colors, all of his tattoos, everything. They did it all perfectly. And I'm going to put both versions of Juice WRLD at an S tier, specifically because they did everything perfectly. And I know that Juice himself, he would be so happy to see it in the game like this. Up next, we have Shadow Monks. Not even gonna lie, I don't like this one. It's straight up a reskin, just black and white textures. Doesn't really seem much of anything to me at all. It's not even shadow rarity. It's just standard whatever. They don't even have rarities anymore. I don't like that either. Pumpkin King and Sally. Nightmare Before Christmas. Not gonna lie, I think Pumpkin King could have been a edit style for Jack Skellington instead of a new skin. Sally, on the other hand, is a cool addition. But I still want to rate both of these together as a bundle. So I will say that this in itself is definitely worthy of an A, because they made both of these look very, very good. All of the details translated super well to 3D, and I have absolutely no complaints. All right. Up next, we are making good progress, but we still got quite a few to talk about. Mephisto. One of the other characters that I think translated super well from Marvel Comics to Fortnite. I think this original Fortnite design is amazing, and I have nothing bad to say about Mephisto. He is 100% an S tier for me because he looks just about as menacing as he does in the comics. So let's talk about these three. Frozone, Mrs. Incredible, and Mr. Incredible. Disney Pixar is actually in Fortnite. Who would have ever guessed? Because I can tell you right now, I never would have imagined anything from Disney Pixar coming to Fortnite. There's no way. If you had told me even just 5 days before this was announced, if you had told me Mr. and Mrs. Incredible were coming to the game, I would have looked at you and said, no, that's not possible, because Disney would never let these iconic characters from kids' movies hold weapons. And what did they do? They actually brought them to Fortnite and they let them hold weapons. I don't get it. I don't understand, but I have nothing bad to say about any of these. And I think all three of them were translated so well to 3D for this game that they look straight up like they came from the movie. That is S tier. That is 100% S tier for me. Fishpool. I'll put him at a B. Deadpool variants in Fortnite, definitely overdone. Yes, I think it's funny. Don't really care for this particular character, though. Leatherface. Not sure how I feel about it. I think I would put it at a B, and that's strictly because Leatherface, in my eyes, he doesn't look like that. They got every other part of his body right, and maybe the hairstyle right, but the face and that mask, oh, that looks wrong. I'm sorry, that looks really, really wrong. Up next, we have Agony and She-Venom, both of which came from the Venom Last Dance movie, I think. I didn't watch the movie, so I really don't know if they were in it or not. But She-Venom definitely was in the Venom universe from that film universe at one point. So this at least looks like the movie from the first Venom film. So I will say that I think She-Venom is worthy of an A. In terms of Agony, I actually don't have much knowledge of Agony from the Marvel Comics, so I don't actually know how she's supposed to look. But I think color-wise and design-wise and texture-wise, I think I would put Agony up at an A as well. I haven't actually seen what Agony looks like in-game, so I'm not sure how I would feel about that character in-game either. But, hey, I think just from what I know about him so far, I think they're worthy of an A. Spider-Woman. Yeah, I don't really care for this one. I think this is probably one of the very few, if not the only, Marvel character that I would place at a C rating because it's not something I think we needed. And I don't really think there's much you could have done with this to make it look amazing, you know? So, I don't know. I don't really like it that much. Phantom Guff. Yeah, this one deserved a Phantom design, and I think it looks very cool. So, I'm putting him in an A. Definitely, probably one of the best Guff variants we've had. Up next, I'm going to talk about the Disney villains. We've got Cruella de Vil, Maleficent, and Captain Hook. Cruella de Vil. She doesn't seem like herself. She kind of makes me think she's younger in this case. I don't know how I feel about that. For me, I think that kind of that'll kind of put Cruella de Vil at a B, because I don't. It's cool to have the character, but I don't know too much about how she's actually supposed to look anymore. It's been so long since I've seen the movie that I really don't know what she's supposed to look like, and it feels weird seeing her like this. Maleficent, on the other hand, I've seen multiple versions of Maleficent, multiple designs, and I think Maleficent is definitely at an A. Captain Hook, on the other hand, I like this design much better than I like the real Captain Hook from Peter Pan, so I think he's worthy of an S in my eyes. Not to mention, look at that detail. Look at that detail. That is amazing. I have nothing bad to say about that. Rotten Penny. Having this be a starter pack skin for Save the World, not my first choice. That in itself kind of bumps it down in rating for me. That puts that at a B. But having a Ghoul Trooper version of Penny, yeah, I think that could have sold really well in the item shop if you didn't put it in a Save the World pack. We have two versions of Snoop Dogg. Why is that one so much bigger than the other? Wow, okay. So, we have two versions of Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg from REMIX and the Fortnite Festival season, and Fortnite Festival Music Pass version of Snoop. This one's pretty interesting. Kind of gives us a nostalgic look at Snoop Dogg himself in terms of the design and the character itself themed around Snoop. I think it was very cool. It definitely fits him. It definitely, I'm trying to think of the word, not revolves around. It resembles him in a way that I think is very fitting. But in terms of it being a playable Fortnite character and the fact that it is a separate skin from Snoop Dogg himself, I don't really care for that. I think, honestly, Snoop Dogg himself should have been part of the Music Pass instead of the LBC version of him. So, I'm going to say Snoop Dogg himself, definitely an A, especially because he's got those side styles that turn him into a dog. That is actually really cool. But the LBC version, not so much. Up next, we have 10 Ball. I'm going to talk about 10 Ball and 1 Ball. So, 1 Ball here. Yeah, I like this yellow color scheme much more than I like the 8 Ball color scheme, I'm not going to lie. So, I think this one is definitely worthy of an S for me, especially because that blue edit style with the graffiti, oh my god, it looks so cool. It is so cool. 10 Ball, on the other hand, 10 Ball is... I'm kind of happy that this one wasn't as costly. This was a much cheaper outfit than most. And I think that it deserves to be cheaper because it feels like a reskin in some cases. The ponytail's cool. The fact that we have a female version of the billiards ball. I was trying to think of the name. The fact that we have that, it's pretty cool. I think they did do it pretty well. But I don't see the appeal for 10 Ball as much as I do 1 Ball, because 10 Ball doesn't really have as many style options. Up next, we have Nightmare. Whoa, what happened here? Oh, that offset things. Well, let me just fix that real quick. Okay. So, Nightmare. Yeah, I can say that Nightmare is definitely an A tier for me. because it's cheap. It's not as pricey as most other designs. And it's got that really cool purple shadowy demon style that I like. But I feel like some of these knight characters are a little overdone. And I'm kind of interested to see a different take on it for a change. I will say that it's cool. But I don't think I can put it in an S tier because I do think it's very overdone. Polus. I'm putting him in an S. Because, come on. This was one of the coolest characters that I saw from the survey, and they literally did not do it wrong. They just took it straight from the survey and said, yep, that's the design we're rolling with. And they rarely ever do that. They rarely ever take the survey styles and just keep it as is. So the fact that Polus came to the game exactly how he looked in the survey, yeah. Perfect. Perfect in every way. I thought Polus was actually going to be a Hephaestus back in the Myths and Mortals season, but turns out it wasn't him. Unless it was and they just didn't go through with it. I don't know. Up next we have Undercover Sky. Again, this one feels like a reskin to me. I actually don't really care for this one. I mean, the fact that you can put on a Guff kind of costume and look like a female version of Guff is interesting, but still, I don't really care for this character as much as the other ones. Hexed Haze, again, this falls into that category where I'm just like not really as interested in it. A lot of people probably hate me because, you know, a lot of people do like these color schemes and designs. A lot of people kind of like the more gothic designs in general. Me, I don't know. I do think it is a better version of Haze than the other ones we've got. But I still don't really, you know what, I'm not putting it at D. I'm putting it at a C. But still, I don't think that this particular character is something I would get. Rat Boy Reloaded. Yeah, that's cool. That is cool. I'll put Rat Boy Reloaded at an A. I do like his white mask too. Kind of make him look like an actual minigunner. That was a nice touch. Not to mention, Mom Spaghetti as an actual point of interest on the map. That's funny. That's really funny. Meowdus. Yeah. Not gonna lie. Didn't think I'd see a Meowscles version of Midas. I thought that the golden Leviathan dude from that one pack a long time ago was good enough, but here we are with this guy. Honestly, I kind of wish there was a ghost style. The fact that they only gave us Shadow is kind of sad because I really miss having the Ghost and Shadow vibes. And stop with the ads. Oh my god. This is what I get for not having pre-recorded music. Basically, I don't like the fact that they didn't allow us to have both Ghost and Shadow for this skin. I wish that they didn't go only with what happened in the past and the fact that Shadow won. I really do think that Ghost deserved a little bit more time to shine, especially since the Meowscles version of Ghost, or the Ghost version of Meowscles was really cool. I think I actually went with that one. I don't know, did I? I don't remember if I went with Ghost or Shadow Meowscles. But either way, I didn't like the choice and the fact that you couldn't get both. You only had to get one or the other. And the fact that they force Shadow Meowscles into this for Meowdus, I don't know. That kind of bumps it down a little bit for me because I think they should have had both options. But I'm still going to keep it Meta A for sure. Up next, we have Dynamo TNTina. I don't really care for this one. I'm going to be straight up honest. Didn't really like the Dynamo skin for Chapter 2, Season 3. Didn't really like TNTina as much either for Chapter 2, Season 2. They were both some of my least favorite skins in the entirety of the Battle Passes at those times. So, having both of my two least favorite characters from those seasons in one character doesn't really make it any better. It really doesn't. Chaos Director, though. Having this one in the Battle Pass, oh yeah. That was cool. And giving her both the white ghost style which we never really had on Chaos Agent, and giving her the kind of turning into an ink demon type thing. Yeah, they definitely did that well. That is an A for me. Andy Fangerson. Very interesting addition for the Fortnite mares for Absolute Doom. Tied to the Lego Pass. That, I don't know. He doesn't really seem like an interesting character to me. I mean, having a werewolf is cool, especially in this kind of design format. But forcing him to the Lego Pass, I feel like I'd like more characters for Lego that feel like they belong in Lego and not Battle Royale, if you know what I mean. As a matter of fact, I almost wish that Lego Fortnite and the Lego passes wouldn't have Battle Pass or Battle Royale skins. I would almost prefer that the Lego passes have Lego specific characters that can't be used in Battle Royale, because that at least feels worth it, because then you're getting a Lego only character and it has some sort of uniqueness to it. But limiting to you have to have a Battle Royale skin, it has to be able to go into this format, I don't know. I feel like it would also make the Lego passes a little bit cheaper too, if you didn't have to worry about it being a Battle Royale skin too. But, you know, I understand business opportunities. Epic's going to go for more money. Yeah, standard business practices. You can't judge there. Edward Scissorhands. That is a weird look. That's Edward Scissorhands, but not in the face. Not at all. That to me just looks a little weird. But I don't think I can put it any lower than a B either, so I'll keep it right there and we'll go with that. Up next, Star Assassin. This one was just released, literally a couple days ago. Do I think this one is cool? Yes. Did it translate well from the surveys? Because it was in the surveys. Yes. Yes, it did. And I think it's worthy of an A. And apparently I never cut off his feet. That's standard graphic design error. Oops. Ultima Carver. This is probably one of the very few instances of having another knight in this game where I actually thought it was done well. So I'm going to put Ultima Carver at an S, because having a knight made entirely out of pumpkins, yeah. Pumpkins and vines, that's awesome. Very cool mascot for the Fortnite Mares season. Dolly, very forgettable. Very forgettable. I don't really care for it. I'm going to put it at a D. The design is interesting. The color scheme is interesting. Tying it to a Fortnite crew pack felt like filler, and I don't really care for that. Fortnite crew should be something unique, something that feels worth it. And in recent months, a lot of those skins have not felt like they are worth it. So, oops. Carol G. We have two versions of Carol G. Carolina and Bashota Season Carol G. I'm going to rate both of these together in one because I don't really care for either one. I'm going to put both at a D. For anybody who enjoys Carol G, I apologize. I feel like that was the most filler Fortnite Festival season we could have ever gotten. I gave her the benefit of the doubt because, you know, I didn't know her or her music, but the way that Fortnite Festival was done specifically within that Fortnite Festival season also didn't really feel like it was worth it to me either. So it was the first festival pass I didn't even think to buy. It was the only one I didn't buy because there was no point. There really wasn't. It was so filler. And both skins were nothing but filler to me. I put Archon in here twice. Why did I do that? Ice Spice. This is a thing. I was not expecting her to be in this game at all. Do I think they did her designs well? Yes, I actually do. And I'm glad that they did the designs like this and not like anything else. Was I a fan of her shark POI? No, not really. I would have much preferred that we got some of the original locations back and not forcing them to have rapper-themed points of interest. If anything, I would have preferred Juice WRLD had the shark instead. I feel like that would have been really cool. But, hey, that's not my decision. But Ice Spice, I'm going to rate both of these in the same rating. I think, honestly, both of these are at a B. I have no complaints over the design, and I think that they were really well done. And they do encapsulate Ice Spice herself. And they show a lot of detail in her face, too, that, you know, it looks like a carbon copy, basically. And that's what I like about Epic's face scanning technology, too, for a lot of these celebrities. They get this done really well. So we only have a couple more, actually. We've got 8 more characters to talk about. I didn't think I'd be getting through this so quickly, but then again, it's only me talking about all of these skins today, so it makes sense. Dark Ruby. Not a fan. Not a fan. Do I think that we deserved a Dark Ruby at one point? Yes. Do I think it's too late for them to have done this? Also, yes. I feel like the resurgence of Dark series characters is not necessary right now, not until something Dark or Cube related ends up coming into fruition with the storyline. So the fact that we're getting one now, especially in the beginning of a remix season that really didn't have anything to do with the Cube either, even with going back to Chapter 2, I don't really see the point. I really don't see the point at all. Champion Drake. This, again, too many bird skins. Too many. And the fact that we got another version of this guy so quickly after just getting his first design, nah. I don't see the point. I'm putting it in a C. We have the Lizik starter pack. Was a little surprised that they didn't release this in Wrecked. Kind of expected them to. Same with Scrapper Kyle. I expected both of these to be in the Wrecked season, and they never did that. So it didn't really feel fitting at all for them to be in Absolute Doom. This one, maybe it makes sense for starter pack. I'll give that one a benefit of the doubt. I think Lizik, for me though, I guess I'll go A, because it is a unique looking character. It is a unique design, and it is a really interesting design. Scrapper Kyle, on the other hand, again, I think it would have been so much better if it fit in with the season it was in. Scrapper Kyle also, to me, just doesn't feel, I don't know, it doesn't feel right now. I can't get over the fact that it was released in a Marvel season. That ruins it for me. That really ruins it for me. I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to put that whole thing aside. Just talk about Scrapper Kyle himself. Do I think it was a very cool idea? Do I think it fit very well with the Wrecked theme? Yes. So I will admit it's cool because of that. That'll bump it up to a B. I'm not going to base it entirely off of just the fact that it was released poorly timed in a season that doesn't make sense for it. Donald Mustard definitely wouldn't have let that happen if he was still there. I will say that. Rave Mellow. Did we really need another Marshmallow skin? Especially since it serves absolutely no purpose at all. I mean, you brought back Marshmallow, a musician, right before a musician/rapper themed version of Chapter 2, and this guy had nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing to do with it. I don't really care for it. I don't really care for the design. I think I'm not going to put it any lower than B, though. It just doesn't feel right to put it any lower than B, because it does look really cool. But I don't think we needed another Marshmallow. This is what, the 4th Marshmallow we have now? It's a little overdone at this point. Emma Frost. Definitely really cool. I definitely like the crystalline style. I'm putting Emma Frost at an A. Not to mention, just look at this design. This is really cool. This, like I said, as a Marvel fan, a comic fan, this looks cool. Her crystalline style too, just perfect. And look at Dr. Doom. Come on. This is awesome. Giving him Pandora's armor, such a cool idea. This is definitely the most menacing version of Dr. Doom I have ever seen. And I hope that the Marvel Cinematic Universe, when they add Dr. Doom into their movies for Secret Wars and Doomsday, I hope that the character looks as menacing as it does here. Because this is probably the most menacing Doom I've ever seen in my life. And that's what Doom should be. He should be the ultimate big bad. He should look like the ultimate big bad. And they did that well. Fortnite, you did it perfectly. That's an S tier Doom for me. Last two, both Marvel. We've got Captain Jones and War Machine. I'm going to drop these guys down here so that I can fit room up top. Captain Jones. It's Jonesy. He's kind of done with the world. He's trying to figure out what his next move is. He thinks that it's time to become a hero. So he picks up the shield that Captain America gave him, and he becomes the new Captain America. In this case, Captain Jones. That is a really cool idea, and I think it was executed perfectly, but not too perfectly, because, you know, I feel like they could have given him a helmet. I feel like they could have made him look a little bit more like Captain America, but hey, maybe he didn't want to wear the hat. And that makes sense. But I still don't think that it's worthy of more than an A. War Machine, on the other hand, that is a pure S for me, because not only did they give you the option to play as the character without his helmet on, look at this design for War Machine. You can't tell me that this isn't a perfect War Machine design. This encapsulates War Machine as he is supposed to be, and it is perfect in every possible way. And there you have it. I can't believe I actually got through this. I have been super demotivated to make any videos lately. And that's just purely because I have been working on stuff nonstop. I haven't actually been playing any games. I haven't been playing any games in over a month. I just barely got through the remix season and got all the rewards. And that's only because I forced myself to do it. I didn't want to do it, but I didn't want to miss out on anything. And besides that, that's the only thing I've done. I have not been playing any of these games except for just Geometry Dash Gauntlets here and there when they come out. And it kind of sucks that I don't have that motivation that I used to. And I think that's just purely because I'm at a busier time in my life. And I'm trying to move on and do a lot of different things. But nonetheless, I'm not giving up on YouTube. I'm not giving up on these. And I know that there's some people who like to listen to skin reviews. So I'm going to say one thing for all of you right now. The way that skin reviews will be going forward in the future might vary. I am hopeful that I can make a skin review for Chapter 6 Season 1 Hunters. But there is a chance, there is a big chance that I might not get to it. So I'm not going to say it won't happen. I'm just going to say it might not happen right away. So keep that in mind going forward. The skin reviews in the future might be a little bit delayed. It depends on how schedules work out. It depends on if I have the free time when it comes time. But that is all for me for today. That is all for now. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to try to release this video on the day of the Fortnite Remix finale event, because I don't think I'm going to get this done in time for the day after Thanksgiving. But I don't know. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of planning, a lot of things that I got to do. But I'll get it done. Hope you guys enjoyed listening, and I'll see you soon. Oh, another thing real quick before I end this. If anybody is interested in the Fortnite Festival Jam Track reviews, those also might be a little bit delayed. I'm not going to be doing them anywhere near as frequently as I have been. So don't really expect that anytime soon. But I got some planning. I got some ideas to work on. I'll see you next time. Peace out, everybody.